This is what if Deku had Cryokinesis. The ship is female Katsuki, so yeah. Um, this video, my channel actually, is made for people above the age of 13. So be in high school. And if I do make an 18 plus, it's going to be age restricted. So you have to be 18. Yeah. Alright, what if Deku had Cryokinesis, part 1. We'll begin the story off when Deku is 4. Everything besides that point goes canon. He starts changing when he's 4 though. In the morning, his temperature drops. It drops from 98.7, I think the average human temperature is, to 70. Normally. Like, that's his normal temperature. And he doesn't feel any different, but the area around him feels colder because he doesn't have control over his quirk right now. So he just goes to his mom. Sorry if you can hear background noise. I can't control that because cars and stuff. It's 9 in the morning where I am. So he goes to his mom, excited to go to the quirk doctor because his mom said that's today. So he wakes his mom up, like jumps on his mom and says, let's go to the quirk doctor. So Inko makes breakfast, they eat, and then they drive to the quirk doctor's office. This takes them about 30 minutes, no big deal. When they get to the office, they are having a brain fart. I'm sorry. They are going into the office, and the doctor uses his quirk, which is a quirk examining quirk. But he also takes an x-ray just in case because, well, actually no, he wouldn't need it. He has a quirk that helps with that. Okay, so he just uses his quirk, and he can only get the bare bones information with his quirk. And says, well, your son here has Cryokinesis, and it's exactly what it sounds like. He can make and manipulate his ice at will. I was about to say in any ice, but I don't know if I just want to give him that ability yet. So, yeah. And I forgot to mention, like I said, he's colder and he can't control his quirk right now, so the area around him is colder. Inko noticed this, and so Inko's like packed up, warm, and in the doctor's office, the heater's on, which Deku is not a fan of the heat. Well, his body isn't, and he will grow to not like the heat that much either. But, continuing forward, because I don't know how to make proper transitions, Deku would get home. He wouldn't tell Katsuki though, because Katsuki would also be out seeing what her quirk is. So she would go to the quirk doctor and get told her quirks are explosions. So, same quirk, no change. She's just a girl in this one. Well, he's just a girl in this one. So anyway, eventually they would get together. Actually, no. Let's just say let's make this a little interesting. Izuku couldn't hang out with Katsuki for a year because around an adult, his quirk was fine, but around a kid, his quirk is, let's just say, a bit harsh. So it wouldn't be advised since he can't control it. So for a full year, he doesn't talk to Katsuki. Now his quirk isn't that strong. It's just Inko is overly precautious. So he gets trained over his quirk a lot in that 1 year. And, well, that's about it. He would go back to school. He would see Katsuki, but she looked, I don't know how you would say it, but more bratty. Like canon Bakugo, because Izuku isn't there to put her in her place. So Bakugo would think she's the best because she has the strongest quirk, and since she wants to stay the best, she also trains, which means it's not just talent, it's actually a bit of hard work. But what can we do? And eventually Izuku and Katsuki would, Izuku would go talk to Katsuki and immediately notice how Katsuki is, more cocky than usual. But, no really big change from that. So, what else? Bakugo would think she's stronger than Izuku, but asks regardless what Izuku's quirk is, and he says it's Cryokinesis. She doesn't know what that is. And so she looks at him like he's stupid, and then he dumps it down and says ice manipulation. And Katsuki just said, it's still not stronger than my quirk. I have explosions and stuff. I don't know. Sorry if this bad quality. I'm using a headphone mic, so it's not going to be the best. I'm poor. Sorry. But continuing forward, let's just skip the boring childhood days. It's not that important. Izuku and Katsuki trained. Katsuki didn't like Izuku a little bit because he left for 1 year. But it's fine. When they were 10, something happened though. When they were 10, Inko died. No, I'm kidding. I'm not just gonna say Inko died out of nowhere. That's stupid. But Katsuki did start to garner feelings she couldn't comprehend. When she was around Izuku, she started feeling butterflies in her stomach, as a metaphor. She felt like her palms got sweaty, and it's not for her quirk. Her heart started beating faster, but she couldn't recognize what that feeling was because they didn't go through sex ed yet. So, whatever, right? And they're not going to go through it yet. You'll see. If you want to know when that's going to happen, you're going to have to continue watching the series. But, Izuku had garnered these feelings when Izuku was like 8. He knew what they were, though. Because, let's be quite frank, Izuku is smarter than Katsuki in canon, and is going to be smarter than Katsuki in this timeline, too. Yeah. But he didn't say anything. He is Deku. He is too nervous to say anything. Yeah, that's a true matter. But anyway, at this point in time, I just wanted to say that's what happened at the age of 10. Let's now skip to 14. Let me give you a rough basis of their abilities. Katsuki is, since she's training with Izuku, someone who can pretty much has like a kinda drawback on a quirk, kinda. Heat works, cold works better to make her not be able to sweat as much. So, yeah, kind of, yeah. So Katsuki's actually stronger in this one, but what works best with his quirk is directly fire, but explosions are heat, kinda. So, kinda. It's just a big kinda. So they're both stronger than their canon counterparts. So Katsuki, I'm just gonna go and say she's about season 3 level. Yeah, I'll say about season 3 level with her quirk strength. Her body strength is probably only adequate to, overall season 3 level, let's just say that. Izuku, since he has eyes in this one and not one for all, he would be at the level, he'd be slightly stronger than Bakugo. Because I want him to be. But as far as his moves go, I won't tell you any of his moves. Bakugo has all her moves that she has in canon. At season 3, you won't know Izuku's move. He's very a simplistic type of person, by the way. So he won't have a lot of moves. He's simplistic. But Bakugo, the teacher would still do the same speech, which would lead Bakugo to do the same speech. No one would laugh at Midoriya this time because he has a quirk, and he is arguably stronger than Glass. It's kind of, stronger than Katsuki is split though. Some people think Katsuki is strong. Some people think Midoriya is strong. We don't know. Well, we know, but they don't. Thumbs up. So, Deku would walk home. I went to Deku real fast. I don't think I said that the whole video. Midoriya would go home, same pathway, encounter the sludge villain, but since he's trained in this one, which was always kind of a thing that pissed me off, he didn't train in canon, but he always rambled about wanting to be a hero. That really annoyed me. Okie dokie, my phone went, I don't know what that mean was, but my phone turned off, and that caused my recording to stop. So, on with what I was saying, he trained in this canon timeline, which means he was able to dodge the sludge villain and shoot ice, freezing the sludge villain. All Might would come, though. That does not say All Might would come, and be surprised if the villain's already handled. And because the villain's already encapsulated in ice, and Deku can manipulate his ice, Deku shrinks the ice down into a little ball, which held the sludge villain. All Might grabbed the ball, and since All Might had more time, Deku was actually able to ask the question. But it's not, can I become a hero? He knows he can become a hero. So he asks a different question. Hey, All Might, can you train me and my friend? All Might was surprised by this. Like, oh, and can I get an autograph? So Deku got 2 autographs for him, and then for Katsuki. And then All Might said, you know what, sure. Because he's also looking for a successor, and if this guy was able to stop the villain, what can his friend do? Interesting. And he might be a suitable candidate for One for All. We just don't know. So, no Katsuki getting attacked by the sludge villain or anything. But he would go to Katsuki's house, or Mitsuki's house, give the signed All Might poster thingy, I forgot what it's called. Get the All Might signature to Katsuki, and then leave after a short conversation. And then he would call Katsuki, like, the next day, he would go to Katsuki's house, grab Katsuki out of bed, like she was sleeping. He went in her room, grabbed her, and then started dragging her out. And by the time they got out of the house, he was face planted into the ground because he got exploded in the back of the head. She went back in and put on her clothes. She wasn't naked, she was in like underwear with a shirt covering herself. But Deku didn't notice because he was like, we need to go. He forgot to tell her yesterday. Anyway, she would come walk up the house, and Deku said, come on, let's go, you're taking too long. She was confused, and while they was running to Deku Beach, she didn't know this, but while they were running, she asked what was going on, and Deku said they were training with All Might, and that's all. And by the time they get to Deku Beach, they see All Might in his buff form, and then he walks up to the 2 kids and says, I need to explain something to you 2. Buffs down and explains his injury. Bakugo simply says, you suck then. Not like in a bad way, like in a way like, I'd never get injured like that. All Might's like, I like the confidence. Anyway, Bakugo proceeds to explain who she is, like, I'm Katsuki Bakugo. Yep, I'm Katsuki Bakugo, and my quirk is explosions. Deku, I said, you already know I'm Mizuki Midoriya. And you could guess from my quirk, but it's Cryokinesis. And All Might says, alright, let's begin training. And so they both begin cleaning the beach. Since it's 2, they're required to clean the whole beach, which means it takes a minute. It's the whole beach. But because it's 2 people that have already previously trained, it only takes them about 6 months. No, let's say 5 months, because they have 10 months. Takes them 5 months, and then All Might begins to explain about One for All to both of them. And Deku straight up says, don't want it. As simple as that. All Might was surprised and asked, why don't you want it, kid? Because I can beat Katsuki without it. Simple as that. So, by the way, there was never a Kachan or a, well, there might have been a Kachan, but there was no Deku. Let's just say there was no Kachan or Deku. So, anyway, Deku's like, because I can beat Katsuki with or without, I can beat Katsuki whether she has One for All or not. And Katsuki said, I'll take it. wanting to prove him wrong, which he will get proved wrong. Katsuki took it, and after a month of training with it, challenged Deku to a spar. Deku got molly-whopped. Like, he was eating dirt the whole fight. Because while, yes, he could prevent the explosions, and Katsuki was annoyed that her first quirk, her main quirk, explosions, was useless against Deku pretty much. And if it hit him, it was a very weak hit, right? It didn't hurt Deku in the slightest. But One for All, like, because she could handle it at, I wouldn't say a clean 20% at this moment in time. You gotta understand the trains. So, because she can handle it, Deku can't move at 20% speed. Like, he was getting beat. But he doesn't want to get the quirk back. He doesn't want the quirk or anything. He's like, you beat me now, but you ain't gonna beat me forever. And yeah, they continue training. That was not English. They continue training. Bakugo realizes that if she didn't have One for All, she'd be super far behind Deku, and that's the only reason she's ahead of Deku right now. But she's like, I'm still ahead of Deku. I don't give a crap. So, they continue training until the end of the 10 months. So who's stronger? Actually, right about now, no one. Katsuki can use 30% at her maximum 25% comfortably of One for All, and her explosions upgraded because of One for All, but only when she uses them at maximum power, they become on the scale of a nuke. The lowest tier nuke, but a nuke nonetheless. So she's in a whole grid of her own, but Deku trained so hard to catch back up with Katsuki that his ice, he can quite literally freeze over Japan. And the radius Katsuki can blow up Japan with the nuke. Actually, I'm gonna say 2 times bigger than the radius Katsuki can explode with her explosion quirk, which is equivalent to the lowest class nuke. But you also gotta consider the fact that Bakugo has One for All too. And she can enhance her quirk with One for All, which would equal out to how much Deku can freeze over. So yeah, it's just funny to say that. They are, in terms of strength and in a fight, they are about equal. In terms of strength, Katsuki is stronger, but in terms like in a fight, there's not going to be a victor. It's going to be a tie for now. Or maybe I'll keep it that way. I have no clue. Wanted to say something real quick before I end off the video, because I'm not going to go into the UA entrance exams. That's my bad. If you seen my channel before, unknown, I had 300 something subscribers on it. I probably should be more careful with what I say on that channel. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say with it. I didn't re-upload my videos. I don't have them. I was kind of irritated at that moment in time, so I didn't download my videos. So if you come from the unknown channel and you're here back again, hey. And also to the guy who told me to do the Cryokinesis one, I got you. It's finally here. I'm not going to upload it right now, of course, but it's finally here, my guy. Let's see if I can get my subscribers back. And if I can't, well, oh well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is What If Deku had Cryokinesis Part 1. Bye.